All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for a few real people out there, just like you, just like me. All right, if you like real music, here you go. Revolution Saints, this is called Rise. This came out a couple of years ago now. They have a new album coming out, so I'm using this as like you know, a springboard to talk about the new record, which will be coming out in April. The new album's called Eagle Flight. You should listen to Price We Pay off of this. You want to hear a song that should have been on the radio here in the United States, go listen to Price We Pay. The radio industry really sucks. I mean, just Dean is this great singer. I'm having trouble getting the words out because I'm perplexed. I'm like, we're just going to ignore this again. Yeah, they came out with another album. This record label, they put out a lot of music. So we're just going to ignore it. We're not even going to listen to it. And their new album is going to be darker and edgier, and it may appeal to a different audience, but you've still got, Dean Castronovo in the band, and he's really good. So you need to check out the new album, which comes out next month, I believe. Again, it's called Eagle Flight, and I think you can pre-order it right now if you need to do that, if you want to get it ASAP. Dean's bandmate, Neal Schon, is in the news yet again, but it's not really because he did anything wrong or he is suing anybody. It's because he supports Elton John, who is currently suing the Daily Mail and the Associated Press, which I guess are one media entity. I didn't know that. I did not know that. But, here's the deal on that. You turn on the news, right? Like there was this horrible mass shooting in Nashville, and my prayers go out to these victims and their families. This is insane. And there have been many of these shootings, but on this particular occasion, there seems to be a lot of information that is currently not being reported. Now, I turned on a news outlet last night during the 8 o'clock hour, and the host actually put out some real information about what happened and the motivations, and really getting into details about it. And whether you agree with that commentator or that news outlet or not, it's interesting, and it's about agreeing, or at least the fact that they put this information out. Is it insensitive? I've been accused of being insensitive because somebody just keels over and it looks kind of weird, and they didn't have any previous issues, and so I'm like, natural causes, huh? Okay, natural causes. We'll just go with natural causes, right? Because it's a little hard to dig in there. Oh, you're being insensitive. The family needs privacy. Okay, let's check 6 months, 3 months from that time, after it's all died down. No evil pun intended there. Sorry. And still, no new information. Nothing. So the news media, these different outlets, seem to all have the same agenda. I mean, they report everything the same way. There are certain things you can say, and then other things you can't. And if you actually report the truth, it's insensitive. So I don't know what happened to Elton John. There are some accusations against this particular news outlet. Apparently, the pre-trial hearings began on Monday, with both Elton and the Duke of Sussex making an appearance at the court to bring attention to the case. The accusations against the AP and apparently the Daily Mail are as follows: gross breaches of privacy, and it's currently unclear whether the court will take the case in action or dismiss it, as the Daily Mail has motioned to dismiss the case. However, in the meantime, Neal Schon, not Elton John. Imagine Neal Schon and Elton John together. It's the John Schon tour. Hey, look, you never know. I mean, Neal might be looking for a keyboard player. Oh, that would be, talk about, and that's the kind of thing Irving Azoff loves. Not that Azoff is managing Journey right now, But if you can get another brand name and just throw them into the mix, like it's Journey with Elton John, it's Queen with Paul Rogers, it's like just throw a bunch of names out there, Fleetwood Mac with Neal Finn and Mike Campbell. And that's how you do it. You bring all these names out there and people go, oh yeah, it's not the original band. Doesn't sound anything like the original band, but we're going because all these people are going to be there. Hence the Eagles with Vince Gill, right? Perfect. I mean, anyway, that's just my humble opinion how they're doing things these days. So Neal apparently tweeted out how he won a case. He says, good luck to Elton John in your lawsuit with the Daily Mail. He says, I won years back when they put out a story about me. He goes, not many win, but I did, and I didn't let up. They paid dollars. He says dollars. I don't know how many dollars, but they paid dollars and issued a full public apology on their front page for 3 months. Wow. I don't know any newspaper that would do public apologies for 3 months. That seems a little embellished. Maybe they did. I'm not going to go back and check it out, but you'll have to take Neal's word for it or do your own research, right? Although I was told back in 2020 you couldn't do your own research when it came to medical issues, that you had to trust the experts. So we need to trust. We need to trust. And we need not to look into this ourselves, because that, it's just way out of your league. It's way above your pay grade, right? It was apparent that the guitarist had learned from his legal battle against the news outlet that it could be challenging to win against Daily Mail, but it wasn't impossible. So perhaps John and Prince Harry's legal teams, that's Elton John and Prince Harry, should get in contact with Schon's to get a few helpful hints. Well, okay. Yeah, again, and the knock on Neal Schon is he's very litigious, and I don't think anyone's going to argue that Neal Schon isn't litigious. And the other knock is he never wins, which I don't know if that's true, right? The first part might be true, but the second part, I don't know. And, if people have been following along with the Journey saga, some very interesting things were posted and said last week, and I covered it here. And those things, if they're brought in as evidence or as an example as to why Neal Schon has safety concerns for himself and his wife, people are going to look at that and go, yeah, that doesn't look good. That even if it's just metaphor or how that person is feeling at the moment, that's like yelling fire in a crowded theater. All right. And I'm thinking Neal's legal team is probably all over that. And Journey continues, right? Journey has to keep going. In fact, they booked another gig, I think, in Provo, Utah, which I'm shocked that they're doing another gig. I've heard that they might do a couple more one-off type performances after they finish this first leg. So Provo, Utah, that's a one-off thing, and they may do a couple more of those. I don't know how those guys can be on stage together, though. I just have no idea how that's even happening. But anyway, here's a band that I'm hoping maybe will go out on tour, Revolution Saints. Dean will need something to do, maybe, after this tour is over. Dean is a busy guy. He's always working, and I'm sure he's singing on like 9 projects that we'll hear about the next 3 or 4 years. But a very talented man, great drummer, great singer, and certainly worth listening to on not only the Revolution Saints coming up, but also Journey Through Time, which is being released. And Dean just killed it at that show in San Francisco. Just was he and Greg Raleigh together. I could watch that for hours and hours and not ever get bored and then go back and watch it again. Anyway, folks, I appreciate everyone watching this video. If you want to go back and watch it over and over again, I encourage that. Repeat play is a cool thing. Also, you can support this channel via Patreon for $1 a month, and also YouTube memberships. Those are easy to sign up and do. The links are right there on the banner page of this channel. Just click on the link and hopefully it will take you to the right place, and it'll be painless and helpful to me, which, again, thanking the new subscribers, and of course, still thanking Eric Clapton for his amazing interview. I wish I had Eric Clapton interviews lined up every other day. I think maybe people might get bored with it, but apparently the rest of this media conglomerate didn't care all that much about the interview, which I find very surprising. But hey, if we're not saying what they want us to say, then they're not going to cover what we're saying. So just keep that in mind. All right, people, I'm done. See you soon.